How can you make 2025 the best year of your life? Today, I'm going to be covering exactly what you need to do. And I'm going to talk on the four levels of value because this, when I understood it, changed my life and my perspective on business and on lifestyle completely. The reason why most of us don't get paid what we deserve, the reason why we don't earn as much as we want to, and we struggle financially for the rest of our lives is because we have not understood the four different levels of value. And when you understand this and implement it, I'm telling you, it's going to change the trajectory of how you earn money. All right. So today, bear with me. We're going to go through all of this. I've made a couple of videos, depicting exactly how this works. And today is going to be doubling down on what we had already been doing. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope the year is going okay for you. So, what are all these levels of value? What are the four levels of value? Now, one thing you're going to know with me is this. I am a doer. When I learn something, I want to implement. So I want you to be that person who doesn't just listen, you take down notes, you implement. You look at how you can start slowly. Of course, change comes with time. All right. How you can slowly start implementing all this, amazing things we're going to learn today. So here we go. The four levels of value entail a couple of things. I listened. The first time I heard this was with Myron Golden. He is a business coach. He is a mentor, so to speak. Of course, we don't know each other, but I do follow his teachings. He's an amazing gentleman, and I can relate with him on a couple of things. First off, he's a businessman who has gone through a couple of struggles. He's now making it big. He has a channel that is closing to 1 million and has a huge following. He's a renowned speaker and, of course, a biblical coach. So there's a lot of things I relate with him on. So he said this famously that you have to learn to deliver value at the highest levels if you envision yourself becoming financially successful in the future. May not be now, but if you envision yourself becoming financially successful sometime in the future, you have to learn to deliver value at the highest levels. So what is the lowest level of value? The first one we're going to look at is called implementation. This is the least or the lowest level of value because of the resources you utilize at this level of value. First off, you use your muscles and time to make money. Muscles and time. And because, time is a limited resource and energy or muscles, your muscles, of course, energy is limited as well. You can only use so much of your energy before you get tired. And because 24 hours can never change to 25 hours, 24 hours can never reduce to 23 hours, you have a limited amount of time. And because of that, because you're using two limited resources, it's like it's like multiplying 1 billion by zero. It's still zero. So it doesn't matter how fast or how hard you work at this level of value, there is almost no way you can make it financially or successfully. Because let's take an example for if you are a janitor. If you are a janitor at a high school or at a mall or at a store, you can work all night long. What you get paid as a janitor is too small to make a difference, so to speak. And of course, we're looking at the standard of living, inflation, and all whatnot, and we're looking at how much you're going to get paid as a janitor. You're probably getting paid about $7 an hour. So it doesn't matter if you work 23 hours of the day. $27 an hour is almost insignificant compared to building wealth long term. So if you work as an attendant at McDonald's, doesn't matter if you work 18 hours a day, all right? You're functioning at a lower level of value because you have to wake up every day and go exchange your muscles and your time for money, all right? So that's the lowest level of value. And most of us in the middle class function at this level. That is why we don't get ahead financially. If you have plans of getting ahead, yes, you can start from the implementation level, but you should at least have plans of graduating into a higher level of value. All right. At this level of value, you can make anywhere from $0 to about from minimum wage to about maybe $45,000, which is typical for if you work at McDonald's or any other local store or local business where you're exchanging mainly your time for money. All right. The second level of value, the level above that, at this level above it, you're going to discover that you're making a little bit more. It's called a unification level. At the unification level, your resources, you're using your management skills plus the people that you're managing and time to make money. Management skills, you're probably going to school to learn, business management, you'll learn management or whatever. So you're not the person doing the work, all right? You're the person managing the people doing the work. So the same scenario I use at McDonald's, you're not the person flipping the burgers. You're now the supervisor or the manager. You're now, supervising or managing the people flipping the burgers. All right. So at that level of value, you're making a little bit more because you're now functioning at a higher level of value. So maybe you make anywhere from probably, $40,000 to about $80,000, or depending on which industry you are functioning in, you could make a little bit more, right? Similarly, there are people that are in the lowest level of value, but are maybe IT professionals making about 100,000 or 120,000, all right, or maybe even $200,000. But it doesn't change the fact that you are still functioning at the lowest level of value because you are the person doing the work. And then you have a manager who is a level above you, who is supervising you doing the work. And because they are at that higher level, they make a little bit more. So you got to graduate from being the implementer to function in the unification level. That way you make a little bit more money. Now, because the idea is to create wealth. I don't think any of us would maybe a few percentage or, a fraction of us would desire to not make money. All right. I'm yet to see someone who probably want to live a mediocre life their entire, existence. We all aspire to be great. We all aspire to be successful. We all aspire to build, legacy and wealth over time. And so if your sights are set on building wealth, you got to be thinking of, where does wealth start getting created? All right. And wealth start getting created from the third and fourth level of value. Now, at the third level of value, it's called communication. It's called communication. At the communication level of value, guess what? Your resources is information and your mouth. Information and your mouth. Information is unlimited. You can download as much information into your mind as possible. Your mouth can run all day long, but it's not what you're saying, it's how you're saying it. Well, it is what you're saying because you need to be communicating information that moves the masses. The information coming out of your mouth should carry value. And so the people that function at the communication level or the third level of value make way more money than the people at the unification and implementation, because all they need to do is communicate an idea, communicate the information to you. All right. So at the communication level of value, you're going to find people like A-list actors. You're going to find salesmen. You're going to find, some entrepreneurs function at this level of value depending on what you're communicating. And because information is unlimited, and your mouth, of course, as the resource, as the tool is unlimited, you can make unlimited amounts of money. That is where you see people making anywhere from $100,000 a year to maybe $100 million a year. You can talk of actors like Denzel Washington, like like The Rock Johnson. They communicate fake messages that get them paid. Basically, they have mastered the craft of communication. That is what moved me from the implementation level where I worked in the IT space to now the communication level where all I do is communicate value to people. I help people discover how they can make money, how they can, use their monetize their free time. I host seminars and sessions where I teach people how they can grow their businesses, how they can network, how they can scale. That is communication. And at this level of value, you can make way more. You can make multiple millions at the communication level of value. And that is where we should all aspire to be. All right. The third level of value, or the fourth level of value, the highest level of value, is imagination. At the imagination, level, your resources is your mind and your money. You use your mind and your money to make money. Let me take that again. You're using your mind and your money to make money. Those are your resources. All right. And that is why you're going to see that people that function at the highest level of value are the wealthiest people on earth. You're talking about the Jeff Bezos, right? Who envisioned himself creating an ecosystem where people can buy and exchange goods, e-commerce, created a website or created a company called Amazon, and now we can all enjoy that from his imagination, right? It never existed before. In the past, you would have to walk into a physical store to buy something. But he said, hey, there's a better way to do this, and I'm going to come up with this better way to do it. And he invested time and money to to bring that to life, and now we enjoy it. That's why he's considered one of the wealthiest people on earth. We talk of Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook. Before you would have to write a letter, send it via postal mail, it would go meet someone, they would read it, reply. It would take days. And this gentleman said, I have a better way to do this. I think there's a way where I can send you a message and you receive it instantly. That imagination brought to life using his mind and his money, of course. And now we have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have Snapchat, we have all this TikTok and all these platforms where you can send instant messaging. That is from his mind. That is why they get rewarded more. Elon Musk, SpaceX, Tesla. Think of that for a second. I also function in the imagination level. There are ideas are brought to life. An example is this book right here. This book came from here. I sat down and I thought of a problem in the middle class. Most of us struggle financially. Most of us struggle to understand budgeting, understand savings, understand paying off debt, understand the 4 levels of value, just like I mentioned, understand how to save for retirement and prepare for retirement. And I thought of the problem how that could be solved. And I put together, after research and experience, I put together this book. This book came from my imagination. I used my mind and the resource and money to write and print this book that is now available on eBay, is now available online, physical and digital. This is from my mind. Now I'm communicating the messages in this book. If you open to page, that is one of the first topics you're going to read right here, the 4 levels of value. So this is what I'm talking about, communication. So I get to write this book. I get to communicate the information in this book to people and show them how they can get out of debt. Show them how they can save for their families. Show them how they can protect their families. Show them how they can, budget and make sure that they are living a more financially successful life. That is communication. And that is where I function. I primarily function in the imagination and the communication levels of value. And that is where the potential of building wealth is unlimited. So if you're at the implementation level of value, that's okay. If you're at the unification level of value, that's okay. But you got to work your way up. If you have the mindset of someday becoming financially successful, you got to get to a point where you're not just a consumer, but you're a producer. All right. I went from consuming, which is other people's books, as you can see there, to now producing. I now produce information. I now produce value. And I'm functioning at the 2 highest levels of value. So I thought it, if you see yourself as someone who definitely want to achieve more and who want to get out of your comfort zone, of course, strive to at least function in the communication level of value, I can help you. If you want to get to where you're activating your creative mind, I can help you. I host sessions every single Thursday at 7 p.m. where I go through concepts and topics that can help you increase your financial lifestyle. I go through ideas that can help you, activate your creative mind. I go through, mentorships where I can, help you understand how you can start creating value or monetizing your free time at the communication level of value. So I do appreciate and I wish and I hope that this video has brought you some value. Now, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you have any comments, leave them, in the comment section below. Subscribe, like, and of course, share this information so that more people that you care about can understand how the 4 levels of value work. I hope that you've gained something. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.